You know that moment when you're sitting down to create something, whether it's writing, drawing, coding, or just brainstorming, and you feel completely blocked? Like your mind is a blank canvas and nothing's coming out? It's frustrating, right? Well, here's the thing. What if I told you that unlocking your creativity doesn't require waiting for some magical moment? You can spark creativity instantly, and I'm going to share how, straight from the playbook of artists who do this every day. But first, I need to let you in on a little secret. Creativity isn't about being inspired by some grand external force. It's about something much simpler. It's all about the power of active observation. And yes, I know that sounds a bit nerdy, but stay with me because once you understand this, everything changes. In this video, we're going to break down 3 simple but powerful steps that artists use to unlock their creativity at any moment. They don't wait for it, they just activate it. You don't need fancy tools or elaborate methods, just a fresh perspective. Let's dive right in and release that creativity of yours. Step 1. Train yourself to notice the world around you. Have you ever noticed how, as soon as you pull out your phone, you zone out from everything happening around you? It's like you're in your own little bubble, right? But if you want to get creative, you need to snap out of that bubble. Here's the trick. Start paying attention to the little things. The key is to notice details, the kind of stuff most people overlook. What's that person wearing? What's the texture of the chair you're sitting on? Is the light hitting the wall in a weird way? These details are what artists use to fuel their work, and they can work for you too. It's about being present, not just in the moment, but with everything in it. Active observation helps you see the world like a canvas, full of patterns, shapes, and stories waiting to be discovered. Step 2. Turn those observations into creative sparks. Once you start noticing, the next step is to transform these observations into something creative. Here's the fun part. You ready? Don't overthink it. You don't need to have a grand idea. Instead, just start by commenting on what you notice. For example, you're a story writer sitting in a cafe, and you notice someone passing you has a coffee cup with a huge coffee stain. Instead of just thinking, is he not noticing that coffee stain? You could say, looks like that coffee's been on quite the journey. Boom! Instant creativity. Now you could take that idea further and make it into a book. Maybe not about a coffee stain, but you get the point. It doesn't have to be deep, it just has to be interesting, especially to you. The point is, when you make these small, quirky observations, you're unlocking new ways of seeing things. Those details that others ignore, that's where your next creative idea might be hiding. Step 3. Embrace silence and let your ideas breathe. So here's the thing. Not every observation will lead to an immediate burst of creativity, and that's totally okay. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just sit with it. Think of creativity like a plant. Sometimes all it needs is a little space to grow. So when you notice something, let it marinate. Don't force a conclusion or an idea right away. Let the silence settle in and just be open to whatever comes. Silence doesn't have to be awkward. It's actually the perfect space for your ideas to start forming. Whether you're in a meeting, at a gallery, or at home with a blank sheet of paper, you're giving yourself the room to create something new. No more waiting for creativity to strike out of nowhere. You have the power to unlock it whenever you need it. So let's just recap what you need to do in order to actually unlock it. 1. Train yourself to notice the world around you. 2. Turn those observations into creative sparks. 3. Embrace silence and let your ideas breathe. I promise this works because it's how artists and creators stay in their flow. They're not waiting around for inspiration. They're creating it actively through what they observe every single day. Now, I know this sounds tricky, but the more you practice it, the easier it gets. And trust me, it's a game changer. You'll find that your creativity isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you can activate anytime, anywhere. So next time you're stuck in a creative rut, don't stress. Just start observing and watch how the ideas flow. And hey, if this video sparked some new ideas for you, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're using active observation to fuel your creativity.